electric seal.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I have some pretty exciting news to share about the idea board, which I started a couple of weeks ago here on the channel. And the goal here with the idea board, of course, was to collect all the top feature requests and bug reports from the seal community, especially outside China. And I want to thank everyone for the active participation to this board. We have a pretty extensive collection of ideas, feature requests, as well as some bug reports here on the board. I will probably recategorize them a little bit more effectively here on the board. But the point is that I wanted to share you today is that this exercise was not just about collecting a list and then doing nothing, but we are actually going to contact BYD and we are going to initiate discussion with the top items on the board. So that's super exciting, and I don't know where it will take us, but at least it's worth trying out. There is so much good insight and ideas from the subscribers of this channel and the seal community that it definitely makes sense to pass this information forward and see what could be done on the top items. And I'll share more about that in just a minute, that what will happen next. But actually now I wanted to also encourage everybody to revisit the idea board because I would like to have a second round of voting. And of course you can also still add new requests and new ideas, but please use the search functionality of the board to see if your idea already has a card. So let's try to avoid duplicate cards. There are some duplicates still. I will be removing the duplicates, but let's try to keep it so that there is only one card per one item. But especially the voting is now important. So I would like to ask every one of you, all the subscribers, if you are not yet subscriber to the channel, please subscribe first, then access the board and you can cast your votes then next onto the ideas. Looking at the top feature requests that we have currently, the first one is the turn-by-turn navigation into the head-up display or driver's instrument cluster. And it has received 141 votes. So really great contribution by everyone to this board. Please continue that and actively vote for the items. Let's make sure that the top of the list really reflects what is the kind of common perceived importance of these topics. Second feature request is lane keeping assistant maximum speed should be increased to at least 130 kilometers per hour. Totally agree on that one. Over 100 votes as well, and that is the second place at the moment. Then third one is the sentry mode, almost 100 votes as well. That's pretty clear. Better consumption reporting, 93 votes is the next one on the list. Super ITAC drift mode and increased top speed. This is really interesting. It may not be for everybody, but still looking at the number of votes, it's really important for many people, 90 votes here. So yeah, then control charging via the app. It should be possible to start, stop and change the schedule of charging. Totally agree, 85 votes. Battery preconditioning, preheating with button to activate it. This is especially of course for people in the colder climates like myself here in Finland, definitely would be value-adding feature. And then streaming apps like Disney+, Netflix, Amazon to be added to the infotainment. Very good topic. Actually, I think my next video will also touch on this topic, but it's there among the top 10 feature requests with 76 votes. Seat heating shortcut missing from this latest version that I have installed, 1.4. Shortcut to disable enable speed limit warning sound missing from 1.4. Acceleration pedal lag should be removed to boost performance or to have it as a setting. So that's roughly the top 10 feature requests. And then in the bug reports, we have this this really not great situation with the DC charging on Kempower 400/800 volt stations. I think it is with the new Kempower stations especially still not solved, but actually just today I noticed some discussion on the Finnish Seal Facebook group that some people have been in contact with the dealers or BYD, and apparently the fix is now in testing phase, not yet publicly distributed, but actually during the maintenance some people have apparently been offered the chance to get that fix installed during the maintenance and kind of test it out. So it sounds that it's not too far off. Hopefully it's only weeks that we are talking about when this fix to the DC charging bug would finally be issued. That's on top of the bug report list. 50 votes, so that's good. Improve lane centering in the intelligent cruise control. Improve FM and DAB radio. Blinker sound not audible when speed limit warning sound is played. Navigation mode alternative routes. Alternative routes having some issues. So this is the kind of top of the bug reports. Not yet many stuff on the done column, but let's hope that some of these will be there. But there is something like navigation should show estimated state of charge at arrival, but that has been there I think from 1.3.1, and there's the screenshot. Also some other stuff here in the done column. Right, but then what happens next with the idea board is that after I released this a couple of weeks ago, I got contacted by a Chinese subscriber of the channel. YSK is his nickname. He does have some contacts to BYD, and actually the product manager of the Seal and other Ocean series cars like Dolphin and Sea Lion, he actually suggested that we should take this electric Seal idea board, the top items of the idea board, and translate all of this into Chinese and contact the BYD product manager of the Seal with these requests and initiate discussion with him or her. So that's like super interesting. I think we definitely should see where does this take us. It is of course in no way guaranteed that it will have any impact, but there is nothing to lose. Of course, these guys, they have their own backlogs, they have their own feedback tracking systems, they have all of that in place. I'm sure they do, but there is now, if you look at the amount of requests here on the electric Seal idea board, if you look at the amount of votes here, so there's a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of stuff here, and it's definitely not insignificant amount of feedback and suggestions. So I'm at least optimistic that we might actually get an impact actually contacting the BYD product manager of the Seal with this. So and for that now the second round of voting is especially important. So I want everybody to access the board again and cast their votes on the items, because there has been also some new items. If you opened the board for the first time then a couple of weeks ago when I released the video, there has been new entries, so please spend some time to browse through the feature requests, and especially make sure that you put your votes into those issues that matter. And of course you are also allowed to use the downvoting if you don't like something, if you think that that's not the kind of worthwhile topic to work on, then definitely put the thumbs down as well. So we'll take some top 15 items that have the most votes and clarify the descriptions, and then we'll translate everything into Chinese with the help of this Chinese subscriber of the channel YSK, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, it's definitely a community effort. Great that everybody is collaborating it, and we have a common goal of improving this already great car. So yeah, so let's see where we'll get with this one. Also, another interesting thing about my discussion with YSK was that he shared some interesting insight about the seal in China. For example, they don't yet have 1.4 version, which is now here on my seal. And that's kind of funny because I've always thought that the car in China is many steps ahead of what we have in Europe. And well, that's true in some parts. For example, this head-up display navigation integration is and has been there already in the earlier versions. So the versions are not the same, but still it seems that this version that I have now contains some things which are not yet released in China. So it's a little different than what I have been thinking previously. But YSK was kind enough to share some details about the Chinese version, and he has made a video which I will show here quickly, but you can access his full video from the link in the description, where he kind of explains what kind of things they have in China. And I think the three main things are the turn-by-turn navigation in the head-up display, as well as the navigation integration in the driver's instrument cluster. And then the third thing is actually very interesting one, is that in China they have allowed all the users to sideload anything to the infotainment. So basically they can sideload Android applications, APKs freely without having to worry about the stuff that we have to, because if you want to sideload an application now to the BYD Seal infotainment outside China, that is possible, but requires you to downgrade the software version to very early version 1.0 or 1.1 or something like that. So yeah, that's a big difference to what they have in China. So there it is free. There is no kind of need to do any downgrading. They can freely sideload any APK that they want. Also, some differences obviously with the Chinese version are that they have more kind of streaming services or I think kind of social media services integrated into the infotainment, but these are local apps and not the same, obviously. So when we are looking at Disney and Amazon and Netflix and so in China they have their local services, but the level of integration seems to be better there than what it is here in Europe or other markets. So all of this was pretty insightful to hear from our Chinese friend. So please check his video from the link below for the details. But most importantly, I think the plan with the idea board is you'll find the link to the idea board also in the description. It's easy to access. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel first, and then just cast your votes there on the idea board, and we are soon then ready to go. That was the, I think, pretty exciting news for today. So hopefully you are also excited about this initiative, and thanks for watching. Let's hope that the Seal will get even better car in the near future.